Welcome back. This is Big G, your host. I thought today I'd bring you a quick tree tutorial, how to make my N-scale trees that I have one sitting right here. I've had several compliments and people asking about how I'm making my trees, so with that being said, I thought I'd come on video and show you how I make my trees. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and plant this one here in the phone, move that off screen, and we'll start. So, as I said in a previous video, I use toothpicks. I paint them dark brown, and I usually do them in a big block of foam, kind of like these. Some of these I've already worked on this morning during some of the live casts that were on video. But I take and I plant a ton of them. I had about 35 or 37 of them there in a big block of foam. Just take them out, spray them, bring them back in, let them dry, and afterwards you're ready to start making trees. Now for this, other than the toothpicks, you need a hot glue gun. Hot glue sticks, obviously. I buy a 100 pack, a lot cheaper. You need your moss, and you can make a ton of N-scale trees out of one bag. That's just one small clump, and like you can see, I've got tons of it left in the bag. So let's go ahead and put that on the desk and get to making a tree. Also, the other things that you need is I use Woodland Scenics Blended Turf. Got a mixture of glue and water. Another container. I reuse a ton of containers, so trust me, if you're looking in my training room in there, you're going to see a lot of butter containers. I live in the South, that's just what it is. Alright, let's get to tree making. So, when you get it, it's going to be big clumps like this. Way too big for an N-scale tree unless you're just looking for a redwood. But I'm not. I'm modeling Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia kind of area. Mountainous trees, a lot of deciduous trees. That's what it is. So, after you tease it and tear it down, you're going to you're going to come across little sticks that are in the actual tufts. With those, I make a small stack of those as I'm building trees. I've got several right here. You can use that for deadfall in your forest. Works out pretty well, so you're actually doing several things with that. You just take a tree or your tufts, tease them out. And the beautiful thing is you're going to have like small little pieces that fall off, kind of like this. You can actually use several of those together. Get it on camera there. You're going to be able to use several of those and put them together on one toothpick, and that's where the hot glue gun comes into play. Fast drying. Alright, so I've already got the gun heated up. Just pour you out a little bit of glue on there. Get your tuff. And you can make them taller, you can make them shorter. You can make them really full, you can make them like new grown trees. So the beauty of these is no tree will come out looking the exact same. One of the other things is a lot of people are like, well, why don't you paint the whole stick? Well, that little piece there, I use extruded foam on my layout, so that jabs right down in there with a little dab of glue already on it, and then I let it sit. Sometimes you got to use a clothespin. Mount it after you plant it, maybe 2 of them, to keep it from leaning one direction or the other, unless that's what you're looking for, is leaning tree, but I'm not, so plant mine upright. Usually, sometimes I'll need a clothespin on there. It'll plant just fine. Let the glue dry overnight and you're good to go. Alright, so there's the first one, and as you can tell, it's not very realistic yet, so this also helps. Add you a little bit more glue on there. Now if you want to save as much of that lichen as you can kind of fold the tree in on itself. Move it around a little bit. And as you can tell, you can start making the tree come into a more realistic looking tree. As you're reaching in there, just remember the glue is going to be kind of hot, so you might burn yourself a little bit if you're not too careful. And it's going to dry pretty quick too, so. Now, it's starting to look a little better there, but I want it a little bit more full, so in order to do that, as I said a little while ago, you got these little tufts. You put that in there. You start making the tree look really full there. Now we got this little piece right down here that's kind of hanging off. Want to kind of add to the other side of that, so with that being said, got a small one, want to go even smaller, rip it. You can save that other piece for later. Use this piece for the bottom of this tree, and then after this glue, you should be pretty good and on to putting the leaves on it. Now one of the other things you can do is I've used in the Blended Turf green. You can get multiple colors. With that being said, you can use dark green, medium green, light green. Gives you a variation. At the moment I've just got the green blend. I definitely need to get out and get some more of the other greens. I think I may have some in a box down in the bottom of the closet in my supply tote. Dig into that later today and see if I can't make some other colors. Because right now I've just got this green blend and definitely need some more. If you've watched my last update, number 12 I believe it is, I've got about 35 trees planted on the layout. Now I do have a different tree that I do. I'll try to do a tutorial on that one afternoon and put that up. But these are the trees that I figured I would work. And I know on screen this looks like I'm just playing and chasing ghosts, but there's actually a glue strand that I'm trying to get rid of. Got it. And you'll feel kind of like spider web, so you'll know exactly where it's at. I got a trash can back here, I'm just throwing it away in. Or trying to if it'd get off my hand. Alright, so let's put the glue gun to the side. Try not to burn myself on that. Bring the canister of green in. And go ahead and put the spoon in there. Like I said, got my container. That's just so that I can have the excess in there and then later on pour that back into the container. Recycle, reuse, right? Another glue strand there. Definitely want to get those off before you start doing this next process, because then you'll get the leaf material all over it and then you'll have a tree with the spider web of green going away. So definitely want to try to trim that away. You can use snips or scissors or whatever. Now, the glue blend, 50-50 is what I'm using. Last time I just dunked it. My solution's a little thick today, so I'm going to try a different method real quick. Sorry about this, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't saturate the tree too much. Especially with it being freshly glued too, so. Alright. Got some glue on there. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to wring it out a little bit. This is going to get messy. I'll do it as quickly as I can, try to show you the results, and go wash my hands. So give me just a few. I'll edit out some parts here probably. You want to make sure that the glue is all over the place on the tree, not necessarily yourself or the table or work surface. A little quick dunk there. I've got the tree saturated in the glue, and we're going to go ahead and start putting the greenery to it. Take the spoon, the tree, just sprinkle over the top of it, trying to get all the area that you want covered. Now a lot of people will sprinkle from the top down, and that's perfectly fine. That works just fine, but with the way my layout height is, it is at eye level, and with that being the case, you're going to bend down and you're going to take a look at different angles. So I try to make sure you're going to see greenery everywhere you look. Take it and shake it. And that is one of my N-scale trees. I took it a little bit longer because I was doing it on camera. I can usually build one of these in about 2, maybe 3 minutes with gluing it onto the toothpick and adding the greenery. So figure 2 or 3 minutes per tree. I gave $5, $6 for that bag. Of course, probably I got $10 written on that one, so figure that's $16 there. Spoon, a couple of containers left from the kitchen, or makeup or whatever. Hopefully your wife is gracious like mine is and saves the containers and brings them to you. Like I said, you walk in my training room, I've got tons of containers everywhere. If I've got too many, I get rid of some, get rid of the older ones. I've got tubs that I use that are plastic like this and very bendable that I use for plaster. So nothing for the containers. On glue, when it's back to school time, go in, buy you some gallon glue. I highly recommend it. A lot of people are like, don't use school glue. I use it on everything. It works. It's my glue source. I'm gonna hopefully get that price tag in there. I bought it on clearance, $3.50 for a gallon. I got 2 gallons sitting in my training room. Been using the same gallon since I started the layout 7 months ago. The glue level is to there. So, and I've done a lot of stuff that's gluing track down that's not gluing the buildings. I use CA glue for that. But overall, cheap. So these trees, I mean, out of that one bag I can probably get 100 trees close to it anyways. With that being said, this canister won't even touch, 100 trees. Like, I could probably do 1,000 trees with one canister. So $3.50 on the glue. So those 2 trees, maybe get a nickel or a dime, maybe, instead of like $10 for a pack of 4. Not giving $2.50 a tree when I can make them on my own, make them just look just as good, just as realistic, and works great. You want to see these on my layout, check out update number 12. With that being said, I will see you guys later. Thanks.